What's my plan for, say, in 2026? Well, it's going to be exactly the same as what I've did this year, which is in 2025, even though nothing I say is financial advice, and even though I am not telling anyone to do anything, personally for me, what I've been doing so far is just dollar cost averaging once a month. I don't do any more than that. I don't do any less than that either. Now, this is just personally what I'm doing. I'm not telling anyone to do this or that. No, I'm just doing it personally. And even if someone told me to do something, like again, personally, I'm making the decision on my own, right? But why am I doing that? Well, because I'm still a fan of SEI ultimately when it comes to it as a project. And I'm going to take a look at the price charts for a bit. And what I've noticed is that in two significant events that I've seen when it comes to SEI, at around that $720 million market cap range, let's say I take a look at the instance I want to talk about initially, which is in August of 2024. Market cap at that point was around 720 million. Then in November of 2024, we saw the market cap reach almost 3 billion. Then of course there was a pullback. It reached around 730 million in April of 2025, and then we saw a market cap of around 2 billion back in July of 2025 before seeing the market cap that we see as of right now, which is approximately 780 million. So it's kind of close to those two events I was talking about before, right? Now, does it mean that hypothetically, if it goes to that low of a market cap again, which we're kind of almost reaching, by the way, is there going to be that hypothetical recovery like what we've seen in those instances? I don't think necessarily, because who knows? Like, again, whatever happens historically speaking, it doesn't mean that it's automatically going to happen in the future, in my perspective. But I've seen kind of SEI struggling to kind of break below that market cap range for quite a while. Now, could it be different this time around? Who knows? But to me, when I see something like SEI, it just seems like a very established project. I still like the fundamentals. So when I take a look at something like that, sure, it could do that. But you know what? Because I am attempting to dollar cost average once a month, and I have no plans to exit or something like that, I'm just still going to do it, whatever regardless happens to the price charts. But I just noticed that, so I wanted to mention that real quick. But again, I mean, there's a bunch of projects I could, take a look into, but why do I take a look at SEI as one of the things that I do hold? Because I don't only just hold SEI, by the way. Because when it comes to the aspect, right, of Ethereum virtual machine, I feel like it's sometimes overlooked, but we have to consider Ethereum is literally like one of the most popular layer 1 blockchains of all time. So if a project has an aspect of that, it's something I'm going to take a look into. It doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to believe in every single one, but at least I'll take a look at some of them, I guess. However, when I take a look at something that's allegedly the fastest Ethereum virtual machine blockchain for high-frequency applications, which allegedly something like SEI is, I find it pretty impressive considering the competition that it has. Keep in mind, when it comes to projects that have an aspect of Ethereum virtual machine, or should I say EVM, there's a lot. Like, it's not a certain specific niche or market that doesn't have that many competitors. No, right? That specific niche right there has a lot of competitors. So there's a lot of developers striving to be the best. There's a lot of developers aiming to be the fastest within that space. There's a lot of developers out there trying to do things with it to kind of make it more sort of, I guess, better than the competition. So it's a pretty stiff kind of competitive market. And then supposedly SEI, out of all of them, allegedly, at least from what I can see, the fastest Ethereum virtual machine blockchain for high-frequency applications, that's pretty impressive considering the competitors that it has. If the competition was only 2 or 3 others, then you know what, having that sort of claim within the specific thing I mentioned before, maybe the achievement really isn't that impressive, I guess. But if there's this many competitors that I see right now, I think it's hypothetically pretty impressive to me. And yeah, I guess that's kind of my thought process right now when it comes to SEI. I haven't given up. I'm still staying patient, but that's all I can do. And that's all I will hypothetically do. It's around 58 times lower than $7, by the way. So the pullback, again, it's been pretty extensive. But again, I've seen those pullbacks back in 2024 and 2025, and again in 2025, which we're seeing as of right now, but I'm talking about the one back in April, right? So you've kind of seen, SEI break below that $800 million market cap range so far, at least twice this year. But I'm saying when it comes to something like SEI, I'm still staying patient. My plan stays the same. I am just, again, dollar cost averaging once a month. I am not telling anyone to do anything, but that is personally what I'm doing. but that's all I can do. Like, I cannot control this space. The only thing I can do is just control myself, and I guess that's about it. Beyond that, can't do anything else, I guess. But I want to stay patient and just wait and see what happens. Doesn't mean anything will or anything could, but I'm just gonna wait anyways. In case, if let's say there is a hypothetical recovery when it comes to altcoins, or let's say if there's an altcoin season, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna stay patient and maybe, go along with the journey. But yeah, who knows? As of right now, I'm just gonna stay patient and that's about it. But that's my plan for 2026. As we're approaching 2026, I wanted to make a video about this, even though this is just personally my thoughts and my perspective when it comes to this project and this situation that we're seeing right now when it comes to altcoins. However, I want to say thank you for watching. I hope you all have a nice day. It's been Lee the Captain, and I want to say thank you. I'm out. Peace. Bye.